Question number 8. We have solved the boundary value problem. U, the partial derivative of u sub t, is equal to 3 times the partial derivative u sub xx. Well, x is between 0 and pi, t is greater than 0, u of 0 comma t is equal to u of pi comma t, that is 0, and u of x comma 0 is equal to 4 times the sine of 2 times x. So we know our solution has to be of the form u of x comma t must be equal to the sum from n is 1 to infinity of b sub n times e to the power of, this would be negative n squared times pi squared times kt divided by L squared times the sine of n pi x over L. So based on this problem, since that's just a general formula, we have in this particular problem that L is pi and k is 3, which means that what we just wrote can be simplified slightly. U of x comma t, this would then be the sum from n is 1 to infinity of whatever b sub n is times e to the negative n squared. Actually, I should probably rewrite that to make it a little bit nicer to read. E to the power of negative 3 n squared times t times the sine of nx, which is certainly a much more simplified version of what we previously had. So from this, we know that b sub n must be 2 over pi times our integral between 0 and pi of 4 times the sine of 2x times the sine of nx dx. Evaluating that would just give us the value of 4 times the sine of 2x divided by n times pi. This would be when n is odd. And that will give us the value of 0 when n is even. Which then means from our solution up here, right, we have u of x comma t, this would be equal to, again, whatever b sub n is, times the sum from n is 1 to infinity. This will now be for values of n that are odd, of e to the negative 3 n squared times t power times the sine of nx. Right? If we let t be 0, then we would have, well, e to the 0 power from this, and that just gives us the value of 1. And we also know that u of x comma 0, that would just be the sum from n is 1 to infinity of b sub n times the sine of nx. And that would be 4 times the sine of 2x, which then implies, because that's the only part that we have of the function based upon what we had in our problem, this means n here has to be 2 in order for that to match, due to this 2 right here being a 2, and that would be matching to n, which also means that b sub 2 is 4. And elsewhere, all other values of n, b sub n would be 0. which means therefore, because n is 2, our solution is going to be u of x comma t is equal to 4 times e to the negative 12t times the sine of 2x once we put all of that into our solution and simplify. Thank you.